Hello everyone, it's me Schmuckingson, and today I'll be showing you all my art supplies. This video will probably be a little bit longer, and also some stuff will probably be a little bit messy, so please don't judge me down in the comments. Okay, so first I'll show you what I use to sketch. These are literally these are the run-of-the-mill HB pencils, nothing special. Literally just two pencils. I've got more here. Normal like writing pencils. Yeah, I use these. If you want an upgrade from that, you have mechanical pencils that you can get for £1 in like Pinland and stuff. Very cheap, but these are also very good. If you don't want to make like smudges on paper, then these are very good for that. I guess I can also show the rubbers. For rubbers, I use these. Faber-Castell, just like rubbers I found once. Faber-Castell rubbers are quite good. I really like these. This one's really good. It even has one for ink, so if you're rubbing out ink, you can use that. It's not very good, but it does certainly get rid of it a little bit. So these are really good. And I tried using these. This isn't really for me. This is a kneaded eraser. It's okay. It's mostly for getting like chunks of lead and stuff, I think, of your drawings and stuff. It's not for me, but other people might want to see that. Realised I couldn't really use the background I was using because nothing would focus on my camera, but now I've hopefully fixed that. Now we're going to have to deal with this boring cover with ink and glue and BSB, of course. Now I'll show you my pens. So I've separated this into two categories. These are the outlining pens and these are sketching pens. So for outlining pens, this is a pen I got recently. It's a Posca pen. I really like these because it gets really dark colours. I usually use this if I want, for example, my profile picture, if I want something that stands out more, I use this, and doesn't have very much detail, I use this. But if I want to get more detail, I'd use the fine liners. So this one I only have one of, which is the Staedtler pigment liner. This one's pretty good. These are quite good, but I don't really like these as much as the other ones. This one is personally my favourite. The camera still doesn't seem to be focusing, but the Unipen Freeline pens. These are my favourite pens that I use for most of my drawings, because they have a nice black ink. Yeah, that's why I like them. They're good. And these are like for £1, but I use these for a lot of my card games earlier on. These ones were pretty good and cheap. I don't know if you can find these because they were like £1 and I've never heard of this brand, but who knows, you might stumble upon them one day. And these, I call these sketching pens because these are pens I use if I want to notes, if I have an idea in my head and I just want to go like this, like draw something out super fast, then I use normal like ballpoint pens. These are run-of-the-mill ballpoint pens, Helix Oxford pen, I don't know. Normal pens you can buy anywhere, any shop. This is a Uniball Air pen. I like this because it has good ink. Kind of like that. I think it's the same brand, but I really like these to sketch out because it's very smooth when you're writing with it. That's what I've got this in the background with. Sneak peek. Ooh. That was my plans for my comic that I'm making. That was a sneak peek right there. And this is, I personally really like to write with this really cheap cartridge pen. It's not like a dip pen, it's a cartridge pen that you put the ink cartridge in. I really like these to just sketch with and just doodle with. I don't know why, they feel nice and I just personally like to use them, but this one's quite cheap. I think it was only like £4 or something, I don't know. So yeah, I also forgot to include this pencil rubber. This is a rubber, but it's also a pencil. Forgot to include that.
Next, I have my ink pens or dip pens. These are the two holders I have. This one's really good. Funny story with this, the G pen. These are usually used for like manga and anime and stuff like that. But I got it because it's very thin, and I will use this for my comic, and I like to draw with this. And this is my other one. But funny story, I waited for like probably like 3 months. We ordered this, and we just thought, oh, it's probably lost in the mail somewhere, and it should have arrived ages ago. So we just asked for a refund and got a refund, and I just decided to keep using this one until I found another offer. And like a month later, this one just comes in after we had the refund, so I technically got a free pen, a free G pen. And here are the nibs I have for these. So the ones that came with the G pen were these three. These are the three that came with the G pen. Very thin, very hard to present right now. But the one I mostly use is the big one. This one, I use this one quite often. I really like this one. Also, they're very dirty, but I'm not very good at using them, but I like to use them. So, and the other nibs, these are more calligraphy nibs, so they're more flat for letters and stuff. I've got 4 of those. These ones are for this one, but they still go into this one. So I always use this pen holder because it's more colourful than this one. But yeah, I really like using these. The ink I use, I got these for Christmas like 2 years ago maybe, are the Winsor & Newton ink. I've got 3 different. I've got the black ink, of course, black Indian ink that I use for everything. And I've got more highlighter ink like gold and deep red. I don't use these ones a lot, but I use this one. This one's really nice. But yeah, they're quite cool. So that's the ink I use for my ink pens. Here are my paintbrushes. So these are my paintbrushes I use for everything. They're very dirty because I probably don't clean them properly. This one's ruined. I don't know why I still keep this one. This is a Citadel paintbrush. Because if you're wondering, I mostly use these. I mostly use them for Warhammer figures, so stuff like this. If you don't know, this is a Warhammer figure. I'm collecting a Nurgle army at the moment. So that's why they're kind of stiff as well, because the paint is quite hard since it's made for plastic. But the paintbrushes that are the best are these ones. I really like these ones. These ones are really good because they don't get stiff, even however much I use these. These are the Winsor & Newton Foundation paintbrushes. They're really good. I don't think they're too expensive. I can't remember, but I got these for like, I think they were maybe on sale. That's why they weren't too expensive. But these are really good. These ones are like Young Art, Happy Color. Wow, these are like generic paintbrushes you can get at like Poundland and stuff. So they're also good. This one's quite good. Oh, dust! A bunch of dust just came off. Okay, maybe it's not that good, but so yeah. I mostly use these for Warhammer, and if I'm making something out of polymer clay, like this guy, then I'll use these paintbrushes. Let's get on to some of the more interesting stuff. The paint I use is this random acrylic paint set that I found on Amazon once. These were like £6 for like 9, I think. I can't remember. But I've got a couple of these, and I usually use these to paint like polymer clay stuff. And if I'm doing an acrylic painting, which is quite rare, but you know, who knows? I usually use these. And for Warhammer figures, I usually use the normal Citadel paints. I know they are extremely expensive. One of these tubs is like £4, and I've spent so much money on them, but you know, you have to pay for that. I know there's other brands, but I don't know, it's easier to buy these, but it's obviously more expensive. The quite obscure art supply, I guess, that I use are normal like Crayola crayons. I like these. These aren't all of them. I like these because they're colourful and I can
you can see here, I usually just go like this on my desk. I like them. I'll show you a couple of drawings of them later when I'm showing other stuff. But I like these. I don't know, they're just nice to use. They're kind of like oil pastels. Pastels for smaller areas. So I like oil pastels, but they're more for bigger drawings and for more realistic drawings. So if you're doing a face, you'd use oil pastels. But these are quite good if I'm drawing stuff like that. Then these are quite nice to use, so you can and they give off a nice texture. I just really like these. My mess is getting uglier and uglier, and I'll have to tidy all this up. But the pens I use, these aren't my alcohol markers. These are water markers. I'll show my alcohol markers. These are all my alcohol markers. There's a bunch of them. There's Sharpies, there's Pro markers, and these are some random brand I got for Christmas. That I think you can only get in Poland, but yeah, I don't really use alcohol markers that much anymore because they're nice to color with, but I like art supplies that I feel this will sound really cheesy and weird, but I feel connected with these crayons. See this crayon right here? I feel connected to it. On like I don't know, it's just weird. I feel nicer drawing with these crayons than with the alcohol markers. I don't know why. And these pens are quite nice because I feel like that as well. These are also in Polish, as you can see. I got these for Christmas. These are quite good as well. I like these for my sketchbooks because they're water based, so they don't go through the paper. Depending on if it's like a Moleskine sketchbook, it will go through, unless it's like the thick paper. But this is really good. If you want to highlight something like a sketch that you really like, you can go over this with one of these pens, and it makes it stand out more without bleeding through the paper like alcohol markers. So yeah, those are quite cool. So if you're asking, well, if you're not using alcohol markers that often, what are you using? Well, I got this for Christmas, and I had other colouring pencils. They aren't that good other than these. That's why I really wanted colouring pencils for Christmas, and I got them, so that's quite cool. Oops. I don't know how much these were. To be honest, they look quite expensive, but I don't think they were that expensive. But these are really cool. They are Derwent Academy colored pencils. So these are like the normal pencils here. Get the light out of the way for a second. These are the normal pencils here, and these are the watercolor pencils. I've still not used the watercolor pencils as watercolored pencils, but I'll test them out. With this said, you also get a rubber and a paintbrush and some paper. I've not used these to the fully. I've used the colored pencils, of course, because they're really good. So I'm using colored pencils a lot. I really want to get better with using them. So yeah, that's what I'm using instead of alcohol markers. Now, the brand of sketchbooks I use is very varied. I've used many sketchbooks, but I'll only show you the ones I'm using at the moment. So I have 3 sketchbooks. I know, oh my god, 3 sketchbooks. Well, 2 technically, but this one, I like to think that it goes through kind of like a process. So this is my ideas book. When I have an idea, I write it down. As you can see, I have many ideas that I write down a lot of the time, and you're like half of this is full already, but I have another book. I like this one. I'm not sure, this was like 50 pence of like a random art shop. It was like on clearance or something. It's really good. I really like this. I like sketchbooks with like bands because they make me feel like they're more secure. And after ideas, you have the sketchbook. So this is extremely worn out because how I treat it. As you can see, it's covered with a Binding of Isaac stickers. We've got Lilith, other characters, Apollyon, I forgot her name, Eden, Isaac, I forgot his name, Azazel. So yeah, This used to be my normal sketchbook, but then I just decided to use this as a sketching sketchbook. So if I get any ideas that I like, oh look, profile picture, then I will come in here and do an extremely rough, oh that was drawn by BSB, extremely rough sketch. Oh, and here are the drawings I do with crayons. That's all with crayons. I really like how I done that. Okay, so these are for like sketches. That's also with crayon. Very rough sketches. Get an idea? Oh, I'm gonna draw face. I covered it with Homer Simpson, Face Man, and censor that. Brain Man, and oh, something just hit my camera. That's also with. This one's not too bad. So this is my. I'll save that for a sketchbook tour. So this is my. I get an idea. I want to draw it. I go in there, and then the final process of the creation process by Schmuckingson is this sketchbook. This is my fancy, tidy sketchbook. Sketchbook 6.5. Wow. So I go in here, and it's very nice. And I'll save this for. I won't show everything. I'll save it for a sketchbook tour. But I go in here, and I have nice, clean sketches. Yeah, nice, clean, and smooth sketches that aren't like ripping the sketchbook apart. So yeah, those are my sketchbooks. And if you're wondering, this is a flat moleskin sketchbook, usually very expensive, but got this on a sale from £20 to £3. Can you believe that? I can't. Bargain. And this one used to be a $1 and Rowney sketchbook. I had to write it in, but now it's just a bunch of paper because I don't even think this is going to be classified as a sketchbook anymore. Look at it. This is completely ripped up. But I like this sketchbook because it feels personal since I've ripped up so much. I treat my art supplies like this. I can literally throw this off of Mount Everest and I'd still use it because it's my sketchbook. But yeah. And now to the final part of the video. These are things that aren't technically art supplies, but I still use them very frequently. Let me tidy up this desk so I can show you. First, I'll show how to draw books. So these two books in specific have been extremely helpful. This book is helping me right now with drawing comics. I like putting post-it notes into important pages and stuff. This is by Scott McCloud, Making Comics. I got this like 3 years ago or 4 years ago for Christmas, and I didn't really use it that much, but now since I'm making a big comic, this is great help. I love this book. So if you're making a comic, I really recommend this book. This is like a sponsor. This isn't sponsored, by the way. Why would someone sponsor a small child? Okay, I'm not a small child, but then small child with 100 subscribers. And this helped me with everything, to be honest. If I hadn't have this book, I don't know. This sounds really cheesy. I don't know if I would like find how I draw right now. If I would like the way I draw right now. This book I found at a charity shop for like 20 pence. I'm like, oh, funny guy drawing funny fingers. So I drew it, took it. I think there's even like a really old drawing in here. Since when I first got it. No, it's not here.
This is How to Draw Cartoons by Maddox. A book for the budding cartoonist by a cartoonist. If you look inside, you'll be able to tell how I draw the way I draw right now. I really just love this book. This book has helped me how to develop my style and how I draw noses, eyes, everything. To be honest, it doesn't obviously look exactly the same, but a lot of these things you can tell. The things that I took and put it in my own style and twisted it and turned it into my own thing. So if you're beginning to draw, I really recommend this book. Unless you're drawing not cartoons, then don't get it, but you know what I mean. Regular Show art book. Regular Show is one of my favourite shows. I'm gonna say this for every art book I have, but I love this show. It's amazing. I grew up with it. Every time I went to Poland to my grandparents, I would turn on Cartoon Network because I didn't have cable back then. I would turn on Cartoon Network before I go to sleep. I'd watch Regular Show and other shows. And I just respect JG Quintel so much. He's one of my biggest role models, to be honest. His artwork is amazing, his storytelling is amazing, just everything, and the respect I have for everyone who worked on the show is just, that's why I've got this book. I love it. Also, if you're wondering why I have so much art books are a great way to get inspiration. If you have art block, then maybe give yourself a little break. You don't have to draw that day. Go to your art books. You might want to draw after looking through all your art books. If you can't get an art book, then I think there's a bunch of PDFs online. But so you can just look for the PDF online if you want stuff like that. I got this book. I saved up for this one. This one's more expensive. This one's like £20. I think this is the most expensive art book. If you don't count the One Piece one, because I got that one for £8, but still. Next we have the Rick and Morty art book, and prepare for it. This is one of my favourite shows. I'm all caught up with it. The new episodes were very cool, and I've seen they've released volume 2 to this, but I checked how much it is on Amazon, and it is £52. For a book, £52. Maybe when it gets a little bit cheaper, then I will get volume 2. But this is a very cool book. Shows you all the characters from all the episodes. What seasons are this? Does this show? This doesn't show a lot of the newer seasons. It shows you. I'm not sure of the seasons, but it shows you. These are the earlier seasons, so it shows you all sketches and stuff. It shows you backgrounds, how they do backgrounds. I really like looking through this. When I don't know how to draw a background for a thing, then I go for that. So yeah, and it has a glow-in-the-dark cover, if you can't see. Glow-in-the-dark. Okay, the camera's not picking it up, but oh well. It's a very good book. And the final, and my most favourite art book, is this. The Adventure Time art book, The Art of Oo. This book I absolutely love. This was my second art book. The first one was the One Piece one. This art book and this show is my favourite show ever. Oh my god, this show is just amazing. When I went to Poland, as I said with Regular Show, I'd watch Regular Show and Adventure Time every time it aired. Even I've got like 10 episodes on our old laptop that I used to watch when I was small, and I would just watch those episodes over and over again. I love this show. Pendleton Ward is my biggest inspiration. He's my biggest role model. Adventure Time, Regular Show. Okay guys, so I hope you guys
enjoyed this video, me going over my art supplies and telling you how much I love art books and how much I love those cartoons and shows and comics and manga. If you want, tell me down in the comments. I can go tell you guys my favorite comics, favorite shows. I can make like a video on that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see you guys later.